Hello, everybody, and welcome to the SoFi Daily Podcast. I'm your host, Ross Mack, bringing you the market news and headlines that you need to start your day. It's currently Friday, August 4th. Let's get right to it. U.S. stocks finished lower again Thursday as Treasury yields soared to a 9-month high. Now, following Fitch's downgrade of the U.S. credit rating, the U.S. 10-year Treasury yield pushed as high as 4.2%, putting pressure on stocks. Now, on the earnings front, Warner Brothers Discovery reported a second quarter miss on the top and bottom lines. The company's new streaming service Max saw a decrease of nearly 2 million subscribers from the end of the first quarter to 95.8 million, below Wall Street expectations. Now, the company did, however, announce a tender offer aimed at paying down up to $2.7 billion in debt. Now, on the economic front, the number of Americans filing for unemployment benefits creeped higher by 6,000 to 227,000 on the week ending July 29th. The figure was in line with the market expectations and close to a 5-month low from the previous period. And additionally, continuing claims rose by 21,000 to 1.7 million in the earlier week, also in line with expectations and close to mid-July 6-month low. Now, in company-specific news, Alibaba released 2 open-source artificial intelligence models to take on Meta Platforms' Llama 2. This marks the first time a major Chinese tech company has open-sourced its large language models. The 2 models' code, model weights, and documentation will be freely accessible to academics, researchers, and commercial institutions worldwide. Now, on the whole, the Dow Jones Industrial Average fell 67 points or 20 basis points, while the S&P 500 lost 25 basis points, and the NASDAQ Composite also finished down 10 basis points. Now, moving to the top 3 headlines that should be on your radar. Nintendo Switch sales are surging on the back of the success of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom. The video game scored 96 out of 100 on the Metacritic, signaling widespread popularity. Secondly, Adidas raised its earnings outlook due to strong demand for its remaining Yeezy merch. The sale of its first batch of Yeezy gear brought in $437 million in the second quarter. Let's see what the second batch can do. And lastly, Beyoncé is facing a little backlash by offering $157 listening-only tickets for her Renaissance tour. Now, as the name implies, the tickets will have no view of the stage or performers. And finally, let's talk about what's about to happen today. The unemployment rate for July will be released. Now, the rate hit 3.6% in June, signaling a still tight labor market. Now, as recessionary concerns subside, this may give the Federal Reserve confidence to continue increasing interest rates. Average hourly earnings will also be reported for July, with non-farm payrolls increasing 4.4% in June. Now, on the earnings front, Dominion Energy will round out the week. The energy giant will likely give investors more insight into its sale of Maryland gas plant to Berkshire Hathaway for $3.3 billion. And last but not least, we're breaking down your financial term of the day. Now, have you ever heard of the phrase the housing market index? So let's talk about it. Now, the National Association of Home Builders, also known as the NAHB Housing Market Index, rates the relative level of current and future single-family homes. The data is compiled from a survey of around 900 home builders, and a reading above 50 indicates a favorable outlook on home sales, while below 50 indicates a negative outlook. And that's all that we have for you today. We'll see you back here next week, and in the meantime, do not forget to check out the SoFi app. This communication from SoFi Wealth and Street Sheet is for informational purposes only. It is not intended to serve as a recommendation to buy, sell, or hold any security, and is not an offer of a sale of a security. Information contained within should not be perceived as a research report and is not intended to serve as a basis for any investment decision. Any third-party views reflected herein do not reflect the opinion of SoFi Wealth or its affiliates or the Street Sheet. All investments involve risk, and the past performance of a security does not guarantee future results or returns. There is always the potential for financial loss when investing in securities or other financial parts. Investors should consider their investment objectives and risks before investing.